Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to put some more puppy dogs in my puppy dog dedicated sketchbook. So I started this sketchbook and I've already put some doggies in here. So if you want to see these doggos, I'll link the videos up at the top and down below. But today we are adding to the collection. So I absolutely love dogs. I've loved dogs my whole life, and I have never dedicated one sketchbook and finished it with one subject only. So I'm hoping I'll be able to with this. This is a watercolor sketchbook, and the paper's good enough for some mixed media funsies. So let's get some inspiration from this really cute cup I got at Walmart. My husband took me out to run an errand, and I was going for something completely different. And then I came home with this cup because I just love all the little doggos on it. They're all so cute and so inspirational. So I am going to use this as a springboard, and I'm going to draw some dogs from this cup in this video today. But of course, I'm going to do it in my style, and I just love a big giant cup. So now that I have some inspiration, we have to go in here and doodle some doggos. But first, I need to get comfortable. I love this weighted blanket over here. It's the one I have on top of my bed, but I actually want to get underneath. So I'm going to get a little lap blanket here, get some pressure on my legs. So now I can focus, and now I can share some doodles with you guys. I just love the sound of pencil scratchies on the paper. I can't help it. I hope you guys like it too. So anyways, here we are. I've got some fun characters inspired from my cup, but I have stylized them, meaning I've put my own little spin and style on them, and I purposely want all my dogs to look different. And here we are. I work fragmentedly, so here we are upstairs in a different location, and now my next step is actually to outline these dogs. So then that way it acts as a coloring page, and then I can put marker or watercolor, and then my lines don't move. So over here, I had some really nice snuggles from my little dude as I started to outline my dog, and it was so sweet. I love it. And then I finished outlining my dog over here. And if you guys have any name suggestions, let me know. I'm actually going to go back to my original video where I asked you guys for name suggestions, and I'm going to put some of the name suggestions in and name my dogs. And then when we flip through the sketchbook when I'm done, some of you guys will have contributed to my artsies. So over here, anywhere that I have pencil marks like that, I actually want to put some gel pens. These are my Mattehop Gel pens. I absolutely love them for mixed media work. I have reviewed them. I'll link them at the top and down below, but I'm probably going to do that in those areas. So I'm actually whipping out some beautiful watercolors that are so pretty. I have a hard time making myself use them, but this was my pushing present for baby number 3 from my husband. And as you guys can see, the colors are really saturated. Like the black is amazingly dark, and the red is beautiful. So I kept it very, very simple over here. And then I went around and outlined it with my really wonderful gel pens that I love so much. And I'm just happy with how it turned out. So we have 1 dog out of 4 done. This dog over here is going to have all kinds of spots. I actually love how cheerful he is, and I want a really, really bright color in the background to match his energy. Show of hands in the comment section who watched Clifford the Big Red Dog and think that this dog looks like T-Bone, because my daughter pointed it out and now I can't unsee it. So over here I am leaving the pencil marks because I want the gel pens. You guys will just have to stick around. I'm going to make some creative choices, and I'm going to be changing my mind, but you guys have to stick around and see what I'm going to do. So now I want a fun color for that background. And like I said, this watercolor set is so beautiful. It's actually so beautiful, I'm scared to use it, which is sad, because there's nothing more sad than having gorgeous colors like these 2 colors that I'm going to mix to make a nice background. Anyways, it's just really sad to have watercolors or any material that you don't use because you just like them so much and they're so pretty, but I know I'm not the only one. I've heard other people on the YouTubes talk about it, so I'm forcing myself to use it because unused art supplies are sad art supplies, and it makes me sad. So I have 2 papers over here, and I am just using them as swatch papers, and I wrote down the names up at the left-hand corner just to see how different watercolor reacts to them. But I want to get the exact specific shade and specific color for the background, so that's why I'm doing little test swatches, and I want to see if I like how they turn out. So there's little personal projects in here. I don't want to over explain myself. Bleh, whatever. It's my channel. I'm doing whatever I want. So here, I want something more orangey. And as you guys can see down on the second swatch here, we're getting a little bit closer, but I want kind of a mix between the two. And here we are. I have a nice, beautiful color. Now I've noticed there's splotchiness, but I'm going to fix that with my gel pens. I don't really know if it's the paper in that sketchbook because I'm having that issue a lot and I've been blaming the paints, but I already had an idea in mind and it's going to cover it up and it looks fine. It just, I've noticed it. So I'm drawing, pun intended, drawing on some previous inspiration. I want to have a really fun dog theme pattern behind this cheerful little pup. So I'm going to take my gel pen like I did, and like I said I was going to do, and I'm going to hand draw it in, and it's probably going to cover most of the blotchiness and it's going to be fine. And I'm so glad I went through with it because I absolutely love this spread. I love the colors. I love how both of them turned out. I love how they turned out and they look different. And I just absolutely am so happy with this. Now, my only problem is I went too close into the gutter here and it ended up leaking in the previous page. So that kind of made me sad, but it's bound to happen, especially with watercolors because watercolors are messy. So I'm going to fix this. This is definitely going to be fixed. And when I do my final flip through, you guys will see. But just keep in mind and learn from my mistakes. It can totally happen. And fortunately, it didn't leak on the next side. So now we're going to do these two dogs. I love how one is just so cheerful and funny and the other one is snobby looking. So I'm going to mix a color and try to come up with something in between these two colors because one is very yellow and one is very peach. So we're going to do a little mix and try to get a nice blend of these two colors to go for what I want to go for. Spray, 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 mist, 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 and now we can get going on the second spread. So I want to lay out colors in chunks because I do not want colors to bleed, as you guys will see later on. So over here, I'm doing the background, but it is a very wet papier. So see, look, for the little collar, I didn't want this to bleed into the body, you guys. See what I'm saying? So I'm really doing it in sections. I have some color pooling that is happening, but I will be able to fix that. And I ended up getting some brown up at the top left hand side, but again, I'll be able to fix that. These are happy little accidents and it's perfectly fine. We're going to be able to deal with it. My little love bug was hugging my puppy. He often hugs my little cartoons and my sketches and I love it. So like I said, I was planning to do some patterns and design, so it's going to cover the pigment pooling that is happening. I'm going for a bit of a mixed media approach, even though this is a watercolor book. My watercolor is going to be the base, and we're going to fix this with some Posca love, and hopefully it'll inspire you guys for future ideas. So I got some colors here that are a perfect match for my background for my brown doggo, and we're going to be fixing up this pooling here. I even brought a backup. Little guy absolutely loves my markers, so I'm letting him do a shake-a. And now you guys can see what I am getting at. I wanted to add some texture, dimension, and some patterns. And when there's pooling and you do this with a Posca or any other acrylic paint marker, it can help to mitigate any pooling. But I was wanting to do some funky textures and patterns anyways, so it's all good. So now I did the same thing up at the top, and I honestly 10 out of 10 recommend. I really like it. And if you guys noticed, I left a little white space in the gutter there so that it didn't leak through. And I ended up covering the joining line with that little peach color, and I found it tied it all together. I'm really liking this sketchbook, but I still have a long way to go in it, and I noticed that there's a lot of pooling with my pigments on this paper. So even though I'm enjoying myself, I might not buy it again. Not sure yet, but might not. So my T-bone dupe is coming along, but I have to let the background dry before I can lay anything on top. And I have to cover my happy little accident up at the top left-hand corner. And here we are. This is my finished piece. My family helped me come up with the names. This is Clive. I used my gel pens, like I mentioned, and I used acrylic paint marker over top. And I did it on both sides, and I love how it turned out. It adds such nice color, depth, texture, and dimension. So if you guys have never put paint markers over top watercolor, I 10 out of 10 recommend. You can do it with colored pencils or even gel pens, but make sure your underneath layer is dry, very important, or you will damage the paper and ruin your piece, and it's discouraging. So guys, out of all 4 doggos, which one was your favorite? Which spread is your favorite? As you guys can see, if you peek and you're observant and you look at the dates, I actually did this months and months ago, and I'm really behind in my videos. So like I said before, if you haven't tried to put paint markers over top watercolor, 10 out of 10 recommend. I hope you try it. If you guys have suggestions for my sketches, please let me know. And I would love to know which one is your favorite, or if you guys have any recommendations for future dogs. Now, I'm trying to catch up in my videos because I have a little bit left of summer. I'll actually give you guys a sneak peek right here. As you guys can see, I am working on a lot of videos. I'm probably actively working on like 8 to 12 right now, and that's apart from all the other stuff in my personal life that I'm working on. So there should be a little burst of videos coming in the next few weeks. I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope to see you in the next one, and I have multiple playlists you guys can look at in case you want to see all the other stuff I've been up to and you want to catch up. Bye guys.